Don't see the option. I do see the option.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to April's Business First Wednesday, How Money Works and When It Comes to Your Business. I'm Melissa from the Business Insight Center at the Central Library of Rochester, Monroe County. Thank you all for joining us today. Please remember to mute your microphones and enter any questions into the chat. We'll be answering questions at the end of each section of the presentation. This presentation is being recorded and will be uploaded to YouTube. If you've registered for the event, you'll receive an email with the presentation slides as well as a link to the recording. Now I would like to introduce you to Hans from the Small Business Development Center.
Thank you, and welcome again from us here at the Finger Lakes Small Business Development Center. We're covering the greater Rochester area here. And like the name says, Small Business Development Center, that's what we do. We help small businesses from basically cradle to grave. From the business idea, running it through, developing a business plan for it, assisting you with getting the numbers right to obtain financing so that you can comfortably talk to a bank, because they will possibly send you back to us if you try that without having a business plan in place. So that's what we're here for. But we also have with the acquisition of businesses, selling of businesses, any sort of operational or transitions a business may go through, both in operation and then finally also obviously getting businesses ready for sale. We're not brokers, I have to say that here, and we're not financial advisors, but we have one with us today. So this is the exciting news for today. We will drop an address in a website into the chat. That is Brockport SBDC SBDC@brockport.org. Let me get this right. We'll drop the right one in the chat here. Sorry for that. I don't have it in front of me right now, and then sometimes forget our own address. Anyway, but that's where you sign up for assistance. There it is, sbdcbrockport.org. That's where you sign up if you have a business, if you have a business idea and want to talk to one of us, and we will be happy to work with you. So, but talking about financial services, we have the real pleasure to have Anne-Marie DePoyen today with us. She's been a financial advisor for over 21 years, has started her own firm. She does both the personal side and the business side. And that's really special about her approach. And we entered into a long discussion when she first said, hey, this would be good to do a presentation here, to not just talk about financials from the perspective of an individual, your 401k and all the good stuff. I know you've probably met enough financial advisors, they all descended on you and wanted to talk about all that. She wants to take us across the line between personal and business finance today. And I'm excited for that journey. And with that, I will hand it over to Anne-Marie.
Good morning, everyone. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to you, and I really appreciate the people who have their cameras on because, I experienced in COVID when we only had webinars, couldn't see anybody. It's not the same type of meeting. So I truly, truly appreciate those of you who do have your cameras on and your attention. So thank you, thank you. Hans is awesome. I'm his biggest fan, and I want to travel the way he does, world traveler when I grow up for sure. He's in Germany, 6 hours ahead of us guys. So, really appreciate Hans here. I have been in business for 26 years, actually. So yes, over 21 for sure. And I get to work every day teaching people how money works. So I'm going to just share with you a little bit about how we operate. So I am fully licensed, including my mortgage license. And what does that mean? Somebody who's fully licensed. Well, I mean, I could run them down for you. I have my life accident and health. I have my Series 6, 63, 26, and 65. I'm a fiduciary. So what we do is we help people build strong financial houses. And we started our business working with middle income families and businesses. I grew up here in Rochester, New York, and I was never given a financial education growing up. And I found that there were a lot of other people just like me, and how they were learning about money, unfortunately, was making very costly mistakes. And shake your head, yes, if you agree with me, right? Thank you, Miss Cheryl. And there had to be a better way. So I got licensed, a friend. Everything is referral based, right? Don't we love referrals in our business? Yes. And so, thank goodness someone thought enough of my husband and me to introduce us to this field. And I took it very seriously because the things that I learned were so easy to understand. I was so frustrated that for years, nobody had explained it this way, so I could understand it easily, simply. And because when somebody tells you the facts, right, tells you the truth and gives you the facts, you can make great informed decisions. Now, you can see these are the areas that we cover. I am backed up by a whole bunch of great companies. I've been licensed, like I said, 26 years. I use these companies like a prescription pad. We don't have any quotas, okay? There is no product mandated that I must sell. I work for the client, and my other 25 agents do the same thing. Okay. We're right here in Irondequoit, but I am licensed to work across the US. And I only will use our vetted partners if they are in the best interest of our client or business, right? Our individuals or businesses. So I'm sure some of these guys look familiar to you. And I say guys a lot because in my industry, it's a lot of guys. So it's very unusual to have minorities and women in our industry. But hey, we're breaking those molds, aren't we? Business owners, yay, women. So we're going to talk about how money works. And I want you to see the different areas that are important. We're not going over every single one of these today, but I'm going to go over some topics that from working with businesses over the years that I felt were very important and the best use of your time. So what does it mean to pay yourself first? Well, my mom always used to say, with your first job, my first job, she said, even if it's $5, set it aside. As self-employed people, listen, who's got our money? Who's putting money away for us? Nobody. It better be us, right? You better be doing it. And we also know that Social Security is not enough for anybody. So yeah, better be doing something about it. Put something away. Have something to show for this business that you are investing your time, blood, sweat, and tears into. Put something away. And if you say, I don't have enough, that's never going to change, right? So we really need to talk. You should know your financial independence number. I call it the FIN number. Adjusting priorities, changing thinking, adjust your lifestyle. You guys can read. You don't need that. Control the things you can control. Listen, anxiety is when you are worried about things in the future that haven't happened yet. I know this because, whew. Anyway, but things you can't control. So get it out of your head, right? Only focus on the things you can control in finance and in your business. Okay. And who wouldn't like to retire early? See, what I do is I get to work with people, find out what's most important to them financially, right? And help put a plan together to help get them there. And I want to make sure every individual, I don't care if it's business or personal, I want you to work because you want to, not because you have to. Anybody like that plan? All right. Cheryl's the only one. Cheryl, you and I are hooking after this, girl, everything. And I also want to make sure you understand we charge no fee, okay? Ever. All right. This information is so, so important. My family was taken advantage of very, very badly as I got to know how insurances, how investments, how the banking system worked. I found out that my parents were getting ripped off. And a lot of the things that were happening, Kodak retirees, Xerox, it was illegal. I got people fired for what I found was going on in the industry. So I take this very serious. I take it personally. So, goal setting. I hope you all have goals. I hope you write them down. I hope you write them down every day. I hope you write them down in a place where you can see them, right? Every day. Even if you're not writing them, look at them every single day. It creates that cognitive dissonance in your brain that's going to help your brain work on that thing that you said you want. Okay? Because if it's not there, you need to get it. And I think everybody deserves to be wealthy, right? Because it's available to us. Now, how many people know what this means? Get your bail team. How many people have ever heard of bail? If you notice, I added an extra I. So bail team, especially for business, but I talk about it with individuals too. If you want, you definitely want to write this down. If you don't have one of these in place, you need it. You need a business banker. And yes, you should interview bankers. You want to go where you feel special, you feel respected. Uh, you know, all of these AIIL, they all work for you. Okay? They work for you. Banks make money off of you in a couple of very big ways, right? So we are going to talk about that. But a business banker, okay, that has access to funding, that is more than just, hey, make a deposit and here's your withdrawals. They should have some other added value for you. Look for added value, ask for it. Your A is your accountant. Oh, I know it's April, and that deadline is coming up. And I pay a lot of money to my accountant because finance and accounting are very different. See, accounting tells you what already happened to your money. Finance tells you what's going to happen to your money. Okay. And if you do not have an accountant or a CPA, if that's a little too rich for your blood, if you are getting a tax preparer, make sure that the tax preparer is an enrolled agent. Write that down, an enrolled agent. That means that they can represent you in the event of an audit. I hope it never happens to you. I honestly do. But you need to be prepared in either case. Receipts, not credit card statements, guys. Receipts, mileage logs. Those are the things you need. And your accountant will go over all the other things that are ordinary and necessary for your business because we have the privilege of being able to write off so much that employees can't. All right, so the I in the I, that's me, okay? Insurance and investing, okay? A licensed person who works for you. See, what happens is if you work with someone who works for a company that has products to sell, if they don't sell those products, how long are they going to have a job? And wouldn't you rather work with an owner rather than an employee? I mean, you guys are owners. Isn't that different than being an employee? Right? Just something to think about. And the L is your legal team. Again, they work for you. We all should work together harmoniously for your benefit. It should be collaborative, not competitive. Everybody needs to stay in their lane. Any questions about that? All right, let's move on. The 3 accounts everybody should need, but especially you all, and we talked about this, you need to have some emergency capital, right? Something you can get your hands on right now. And please don't keep it in a safe or under your mattress. I hear that. Please don't do that. Put it in a bank. Get a little interest. Okay. The book I read, there's a story about that, right? 3 people invested and grew the money. One person buried it and gave back the same amount. And what happened to that person? They lost all their money, right? So don't do that. Put some in the bank, get a little interest, a short-term account. First of all, everybody knows the bank, right? Savings, checking accounts. Everybody's heard of an IRA, yes? Individual retirement account, a 401k, a 403. You've all heard of that, okay? Everybody knows wealth building, okay? That's something 10 or more years out. We're not going to be looking at it every single day. That's not the point of that, right? You need to kind of set it and forget it as long as the strategy is correct. But this one right here, not a lot of people have heard of it or even have it. It's investments that you have access to without penalty. Don't you need your money to be growing at better than 1% over here at the bank? But you can't take as much risk as the wealth building account, right? That's going to take some bigger risk because it's got time to grow. This one is a shorter term, 3 to 5 years from now. What can that be? Maybe you need a building. Maybe you need some more vehicles. Maybe you need, this could be your, what do they call that? Disability fund. It could be, you need new phones, whatever it is. You don't know what it's going to be, but you know you're going to need money. Okay? So this is going to have a better return with accessibility. And here's the other thing. You should have beneficiaries on all your accounts. All of them. Anything that has a balance in it, your checking, your savings, go to your bank and say, I want to put beneficiaries on it. Unless you would love to have probate for for the people you leave behind, unless you would like to have lawyers involved. And I mean, if you want all that, then don't put beneficiaries on. Okay. Not a lot of people calculate how much they need for retirement. We talked about that. This is huge. The rule of 72. How many people have ever heard of this? I never had. I had never heard of this. And Albert Einstein said it's the most powerful rule in the universe. And if you don't know it, it's automatically working against you. See, it's also called the banker's rule. And I told you, I'm going to tell you how banks and insurance companies make their money, right? How many people are homeowners, real quick? Homeowners? Has anybody gotten a letter from the bank saying that your mortgage is going up because the escrow account, they need more money in the escrow account? Have you ever gotten that? Did you know that's completely arbitrary and it's completely made up by the bank? They can just say they want more money. There's nothing we can do about it, by the way. I'm not telling you. They can say, you know what? We need more of a cushion. It's not that you don't have enough money in your escrow account. There's plenty in there to pay the bill. What they are telling you is they want more because what do they do with it? Well, they guarantee us when you go to a bank, the nice thing about a bank is it's insured and it's guaranteed. You're out of the market, right? So they're going to guarantee you these low rates of return. The problem is the lower your interest rate, the longer it's going to take to double and compound. The rule of 72 is the rule of compound interest. Now, we've all heard of compound interest in our credit cards. That's the rule of 72 working opposite. It's taking money out of your pocket. But this is how you can put it back in once you know the rule, okay? So the banks are guaranteeing this low rate of return. And if you want to get these higher rates of return, that's investing. Now, banks do have other products that'll give you a higher rate of return with the guarantee. How many people have ever heard of a CD? Certificate of depreciation. No, certificate of deposit. Historically, CDs have returned plus or minus 1%. Anne-Marie, how can that be? They're showing me 3%, 5%, blah, blah, blah. Well, once you factor in inflation at 3 to 4% and taxes, what have you got left from that growth? See, would you ever put money somewhere for an amount of time that they determine so that you can be maybe 1% ahead or even worse, 1% behind? See, so this investing is where you got to go. So here, that 3%, 40,000 after 48 years of hard work, is that enough to retire? Go like this if you don't think so. If this is fine for you, then go like that, right? So what have they been doing with our money for the last 48 years that this money just doubled twice? They've been putting it over here in the high interest. What's high interest? Credit cards. When we get credit cards from them, all that interest they keep, right? So they're making tons of interest. Loans. Loans might be low interest, but they're going to go on for a long time. That mortgage is 30 years, right? Car payments now, 7 years. I've got clients with 7-year notes. Okay. So it's not about the interest rate. The two questions you need to ask is how long and how much when you're borrowing money. But this is putting money away. Okay. Now, I know what you're probably saying. I can hear you. I really can. You're saying, Anne Marie, there's no guarantee in an investment. And you're absolutely right. There is not. Okay. And don't you think the banks know that? Right? So why are they doing it? Why are they investing? Well, because here, oops, hang on a second. Let's say the market doesn't do this, right? The market never goes straight up in an arrow. Wouldn't that be lovely? I want you to think of the stock market like a yo-yo. Pretend you're playing with a yo-yo and you're walking upstairs. Now, what's happening? It's going up and down, isn't it? But what direction are you headed? You're headed up. That's the stock market. Okay? So the bank knows that if it doesn't do 2.5 million, what if it's 50% wrong? What if we're 50% wrong and you don't have 2.5 million? How did you do at 1.2 million versus the guarantee maybe in a CD or a savings account at 40 or 160,000? Didn't you do much better? Sure did, right? See, investing is only risky if you don't understand it. And that is the problem. We are not being educated. We're just being told to buy products. They'll tell you anything to sell you anything. Okay? This is that 1.5% at the bank. Net earnings, 5% inflation. Look at that. You started with 10,000, end with what, 9,635 after inflation and taxes. Any questions before I get into the other big one that my parents got really ripped off on? First of all, my parents were never taught about investing. They put all their money in the bank and then a little bit in 401ks and stuff. And my parents never owed anybody anything. They paid everything in full, never used credit cards, and they stayed middle class. With the disciplines that my parents had someone told them about mutual funds and about investing, man, they could have really left a legacy. My mom is still alive. My dad passed away, and I'll tell you that story. Any questions about investing at this point? Was it easy to understand? And I've got a great story about what a mutual fund is, but I don't think we have time. So if we do at the end, I'll tell you. Very easy. I love telling stories. Stories and analogies, I'm all about that. Okay. Life insurance. You know, Hans was right. If you guys have a brick and mortar or your business was published in the journal or a paper that you just opened, I bet you tons of people been calling you, right? Insurance people, advisors, everybody wants to work with you. Everybody wants to get your money. Now, here's the cautionary tale. Life insurance. Again, you don't have a benefits department. It's just you, right? Or a small group of you. If you don't understand how this works, this is the most deceptive area of finance, is life insurance. My parents got really taken advantage of here. We have to understand what the purpose of it is, right? Especially in a business, right? It's to protect income. You might be going, well, that's easy. I don't have a lot right now, Anne Marie. As a matter of fact, I have more deductions than I have income. Well, that's kind of cool in the beginning. But after 6 years, you better show a profit or it's a hobby. So what's the purpose? You got to protect income. Whoever you're leaving behind, are they able to pay the funeral? Are they able to live the way they're living right now? Can they keep the mortgage? Can they, put food on the table? It's to replace income. And who should buy it? People with others depending on them. Now, what type should you buy? Don't take my word for it here. I'm going to show you. Here's the nevers. Never buy life insurance as an investment. I see this all the time at businesses. They are told life insurance, this is like an investment. First of all, if anybody says like, it ain't. Okay? It better be. An investment is an investment. Life insurance is life insurance. Life insurance is never an investment. If you can record them saying it or get them to write that down, you can sue them and win because there's been lots of lawsuits for that. Never buy any cash value whole life insurance. Never buy insurance that pays dividends. See, how the life insurance industry is deceptive is because dividends are what we're used to receiving when we invest, right? A dividend means that company did well and it's paying the investors back for the money that they gave. But do you know what a dividend is in life insurance, guys? Friends, ladies, countrymen. It is a return of premium. Yeah, the money you gave them, they're just giving it back to you. What does that sound like? A tax return, right? It's just your money coming back to you with no interest. But who made interest on it? The insurance companies, just like the bank. See, there's no little box with your name on it that when you need a claim for auto insurance, renter's insurance, homeowner's insurance, business insurance, you're not putting money in that box every month that you're making the premiums. And then when you need it, they're pulling it out of this box. They are using that money to make money. Same thing with life insurance. So, what we believe in, listen, when you cross this line right here, you're self-insured. You don't need life insurance from anybody, not even me. And I teach my clients this. See, this is when you need life insurance. If you don't have enough money to cover the kids, the debt, the mortgage, and the business, if you have partners, you're going to want to talk about key man insurance, right? You're going to want to talk about, listen, do you want the business to dissolve just because one of the partners is gone? You put your heart and soul. Maybe you're a sole proprietor, you're an LLC, but it's really just you. What is the plan for your business if you don't show up ever again? Because you died, not because you walked away from the business. But life insurance covers this. But over time, what do we need? What do we need to retire? What do we always need from now to retirement? Money, honey. We need money. And you need to be collecting that money now. You need to be putting it away, growing, having it grow for you. We work hard every day. I work 6 days a week, 9 to 9, except Fridays, date night, 4 o'clock. But you guys are working all the time to get it off the ground, right? The business off the ground, to keep it at a certain level, to grow it to another level. Your money needs to work as hard or harder than you. If you put it to work, it will. So when you have plenty of money, you don't need the life insurance anymore. You have money in retirement, and now you have grown children. Your debt is paid down or paid off to the point that it's not an issue, right? So money, when you have plenty of money, less debts and responsibilities, you're self-insured. What life insurance agent is going to tell you that? See, your financial advisor works for you. Your financial advisor should be telling you that. Here's the difference between cash value and term, and I'll let you look at it, and I'm going to show you can just visually see. There's the left, there's the right. Which one looks better, left or right? Put it in the chat. Just put L or R. L or R. Anybody doing it? All right. Well, if you said right, right is right, right? Thank you, thank you, thank you. The right is right. Why? Well, because people get more for less, right? And in this case, it's the same amount for less money. Hello? What happened to my dad and my mom is they worked with a very popular company. And, it's the one Snoopy, it's the ifs of the world and all that kind of stuff. And they paid all their life into this life insurance policy. And my dad, I taught my parents how it worked, right? They pay every month. Some goes for the cost of the insurance. Some goes into this cash value that you can borrow from. Now, this whole life has a fixed interest rate. It sounds great. There are other kinds, universal, right? Indexed universal life, this infinite banking thing, okay? Well, what happens is they'll show you that it's in investments, but you're not investing, right? It's the insurance company. They're still giving you just money. So anyway, After 3 years, for the first 2 years, there's zero money in the cash value. It all goes to, guess where? Commission and to the insurance company for the cost of the insurance. By the third year, regulation says they must show some return in that cash value portion that you can borrow from. And you're going, Anne Marie, that's great. I've got money over here that is giving me a return, and I've got insurance over here. So I'm protected on both sides. Really? Okay. So if you die, what part are you getting? Well, you're getting nothing, you're dead. But what part is your family getting or your partner, right? Are they getting the cash value, the CV, or are they getting the death benefit, the part of the policy over here? Put it in the chat, DB or CV. Which one do you think your beneficiaries are getting? Hey, Hebrew Hammer. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What do you think? Can they unmute?
Yeah, if anybody wants to unmute and talk, you can. Oh,
Kate is right. It's the death benefit. That's what's on the policy. So if you paid for this cash value, this is clearly your money is going into the cash value. Well, who should be getting this money? Anybody want to unmute? Do you want, if it was your money going in there, don't you want it? Sure, right? And you can have it. They said you can borrow. Now, Cheryl, if I come and borrow your car, does that make it mine now?
No.
No. What would you expect me to do, Cheryl? Give it back, huh? And so does the life insurance company. See, if you borrow from your life insurance policy, you need to pay it back, right? So that becomes a loan on the policy. See, it's all written out, but nobody reads the policy. Guaranteed, nobody reads it. What they're hearing is only what the agent tells them when they sell it. That's it. Now, the other part, so my parents had this, and my dad said, "Okay, I want this. I want my cash value. I know what you did to me." And that's not even the worst of it. Some people go, "You know what? My agent says I don't have to pay it back." That's true. You do not have to pay back the loan on your policy. But when you die, what do you think is going to happen? Oh, Cheryl sees it already. Hebrew Hammer, they're not that heartless, Hebrew Hammer. They're going to subtract the loan plus all the interest that hasn't been paid back. Whatever's left, your family is going to get. My dad did not like that. So my mom, when I asked her, "Why do you guys still have life insurance? Me and my brothers are grown and out of the house. You don't have debt. You prepaid your funeral. Why do you still have life insurance?" My mom goes, "The bill keeps coming." See, they were responsible. They thought they were supposed to have it forever until the day they die. And I said, "Well, let's take this cash, let's cancel the policy. Let's take that cash value." Now it's a process. Okay, it's called a 1035 exchange. Don't do that by yourself. You need an agent to do that with you. You need a licensed professional. So we move that money and put it into an investment where my mom is earning interest and doesn't have to pay for it anymore. They were retired. My dad talked to his guy because he was Mr. Fix It, and he goes, "I don't like this. I know what you did to me." And the guy goes, "Oh, whoa, whoa, Carmen, no problem. I'm going to fix it for you. I'm going to put it in a retirement account." That man sure did not. He put it in a universal life policy that had a 10-year surrender charge. My dad never made it. He died of a terrible brain tumor and never got that money because if he canceled the policy within those 10 years, they get to keep all the money. So my mom did get a death benefit, but man, she could have sure been better off. She would have had dad's money too, right? Anyway. So term insurance. And here's the thing. So my mom goes, "Okay, so we're not going to have life insurance." They were retired. "What are you going to sell me instead?" "Nothing. You don't need it. That part of your plan is over. The protection part is over. Now let's get your money making you money. Make sense? Okay. Any questions about life insurance before I move on?
Can you
Okay.
repeat
I'm sorry, this is Betsy. Can you repeat the part about the term life insurance?
Yes.
Once it reaches this term,
Yes.
where does the money go?
Yes. So, term life insurance, I'm sorry, I did not really address that. Thank you, Betsy. Term life insurance is just like your auto insurance, homeowners insurance, renters insurance, business insurance. You pay into it and you will have that protection for as long as you need it. For as long as you need it. So, Betsy's question is, okay, at the end of how many years is this one? 30 years, 35 years. I think 30 years. At the end of 30 years, are John and Mary's kids grown and out of the house? 30 years? You still got people hanging out in your house and they're over 30? Cheryl, we're going to talk. Okay, but if they're in your house, hopefully they can pay their own way, right? Now there's special needs and all that kind of thing, but you know what I'm saying, right? All right. So, grown and out of the house. Have you hopefully your 30-year mortgage is over or close to it. Yes? Your debt is paid off or in control by this time. And if you have been saving and investing. See, Betsy, that's what this is showing. This is showing the death benefit is your safety net while you're saving and investing and growing your money and getting out of debt. Okay? So, at the end of this 30 years, you have an investment worth 300,000, and now do you still need the life insurance? Do you need it? If you want it, that's another story. But my job is to get my clients to the point where they don't need it. So, if Betsy still wants life insurance after 30 years and she has plenty of money, then we will get her less insurance, right? What? I mean, if she still wants to pay $250, it will cost more because you're older. But, right? But do you need that much at this stage of the game? I hope not. Did I answer that for you, Betsy?
Yes, but then you went on to say when you get older, it's going to cost more. So at what age, say 65, you still carry your term life insurance. At some
Why?
point, you're
Why?
right. That's my question. Do you still need it or you don't need it? What happens to
Well,
your money?
what do your beneficiaries want besides you? They can't get you back, you're gone. What do your beneficiaries need or want?
Well, of
Money.
course they want money.
Do they care where it comes from? If you got an inheritance from a great Aunt Cheryl, right? And a check was delivered to you, would you care if it came from her life insurance policy or her investments?
Probably not.
Now, life insurance is tax-free. If you're a
But here,
beneficiary, it is tax-free. That is a nice thing. But
but in retirement, here's the thing: it's that like it's the first 50,000 may go to your beneficiary, and then the money after that.
I don't understand what you mean.
So you're moving toward retirement.
Yes.
So if you pass, you say the beneficiary may get the first 50,000.
No, I didn't say that.
No, I'm not saying you. The beneficiary probably will get the first 50,000, and then
I
they
don't know.
could basically do.
Please don't confuse things because this is already confusing. All right. Term life is very simple. You die, they pay. You still need to be putting money away for yourself. The first thing I said in the beginning of this, pay yourself first. Let that money make you money. Life insurance is never, ever been designed to be something that you pay forever, ever. It was never designed for that. But the life insurance industry figured out they can fool you and get you to doing it. And people are doing
Okay.
it. Term
So when
insurance
should they?
only works if you also have an investment. Otherwise, you're going to be
Okay.
dependent on life insurance forever. And my job is to get you financially independent. That's my job.
Okay, that was the thing. Got it.
Okay. So all that money you paid in all those years, where did it go? To the life insurance company. Just like the auto insurance. Just, if you never have an accident, is the insurance company giving you something back? If you never go to the doctor, is the health insurance company giving you something back? Dude, I was paying $2,000 a month for health insurance. I want a topic. Please talk about health insurance, SBDC. Let's go. Okay. Now I want to talk about you guys are in such a blessed position as business owners. Did you know tax laws are written by business owners for business owners? There's a lot of advantages you can take, and retirement plans are one of them. Okay, there is a lot of advantages. First of all, if you are making under 200 and blah, blah, blah thousand, you can still have a Roth IRA. Roth IRA is what we talked about over here that says in a Roth IRA, Roth Individual Retirement Account. That is tax-free money. You don't pay taxes while it's growing, and you don't pay taxes on the growth when you take it out. How many people would like a tax-free retirement? Right? That's a Roth IRA. Participate in that for as long as you can. But I'm expecting all these SBDC business owners to be making well over $250 annually, and you will not be able to participate in the Roth anymore because your adjusted gross income is going to be too high, and you're not going to be able to do that anymore. That's what happened to me. Thank you, Lord. And so I was able to open a solo 401k. So I could put more money away and shelter it from taxes. And there are Roth 401ks now too, guys. Okay. But if you have people or you want to attract people to your business to come and work with you, man, having a retirement plan is a great way to do that. And it doesn't have to cost you anything, or it can cost you something. So, offering a retirement plan, they're flexible. I talked about some tax advantages because it's a shelter. You can make easy contributions through payroll deductions, and employee assets can be carried over. So there's a lot of great stuff. We work with retirement plan providers that will meet your needs. Not everybody should have a 401k. That is the most expensive way to put money away for retirement. There are more options, better options for you that are costing you less in fees. See, if you have a very expensive retirement plan, that is taking money, that's taking buying power away from your money. It's taking interest, right? It's taking investment dollars away from you and going to fees. You don't want that to happen. And again, complementary financial needs analysis, okay? Education drives participation. See, we need to educate financial literacy, not only for you, but for your employees. And if you have the financial literacy and you know it, your conviction, your testimony is going to shine through to your employees, right? It's not just one of those things that you're offering. It's the belief level. The financial needs analysis, complementary, customized, it's going to be different for everybody, okay? Confidential. See, when you're working with a licensed professional, just like a doctor or lawyer, those conversations are privately held. I don't care how big the plan is. I will never discuss an employee's plan with the employer, ever. Won't happen. Any question about this right now? Who needs a financial needs analysis? In general. Everybody? I hope so. You should have a plan. Yes. Thank you, Christine. Who should have a Roth IRA if they can qualify for one? Everyone, right? Christine, just keep it up there. Just bling, bling, bling. Okay. Now, here are the different plans I was talking about. It's small, and I'm sorry, it's light. A SEP IRA, a simple IRA. There's our 401k, the most expensive. These two, the SEP and the simple, lower in fees, much lower in fees. The payroll deduction plan, the PDP, costs nothing. The employees don't know that. All they see is money coming out of their paycheck going to their retirement account, whether it's a Roth or a traditional. And it makes you look like a superhero. So if you need to shelter some money, then the payroll deduction plan probably isn't your answer. And there's other options. There's cash balance plans. So I would work together with your accountant to see what's best for you. Okay? Well, that one sucked because I had something over it and I didn't check it. Types of tax. So we already kind of went over that. And it's important to know what type of investor you are. Now, right now, I know the market's a little silly. That's a cute word for what's happening in the market right now, silly. All right. So what I find is that a lot of people, mostly women, start off very low risk. We're genetically predisposed to be conservative, ladies, for a lot of different reasons. And then men typically, and this is in my experience, typically are more aggressive, high risk. So you take a male and a female starting work the same day or starting a business on the same day, put exactly the same amount of money away, and retire on the same day. The man in the higher risk accounts will retire with twice as much, 3 times as much as the woman in the lower risk. And they're going, but how could that be? I didn't take that much risk and the market was crazy, right? But what did I show you? Up and down, and up, right? If you're down here on the first step, you're just playing with the yo-yo on one step, right? And it's not even going up and down. It's walk the dog. Walk the dog. And the yo-yo is just dangling there. That is not good investing for long term. That's okay for short term. But, if the clients were always right, I wouldn't have a job, right? I wouldn't have a purpose. So it's about educating. And here's the thing you want to do. You want to pay yourself first. You take a little bit of your money every week or every month and you put it into your investment. That is called dollar cost averaging. Big old stupid term, right? It just means put a little bit of money consistently away every month for yourself. And the market is going to go up and down. Which one would you rather be, Cheryl? Investor A, where the money is just going up, 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 up? Or would you rather be investor B, where it goes down and then back up to where you started? You going to unmute for me, Cheryl? Hebrew Hammer, which one would you rather be?
A.
You want to be A. Hebrew Hammer, what do you think? You want to be B? Yeah. And it's funny because we want to see the investment go up. But here's the game we're playing. Look at the number of shares that Miss Cheryl has when she goes to retire. And look at the number of shares the Hebrew Hammer has. Okay? If you take this amount times the price per share, that's how much Cheryl has. And if you take this, the accumulated number of shares, times the cost of the shares that Hebrew Hammer has, that's a whole lot more money. Look at that big smile, right? You want to accumulate shares. The market is going to go up. The market is going to go down. No one has control of it. And I don't know when it's going to happen. No advisor does. If anybody promises you high returns, please run the other way and call me because I'll report them. Anyway, so yes, this is what happens. Cheryl had $845.60. Hebrew Hammer has $1,259.50. But where did he collect most of his shares? When the market was at its lowest. But he stayed invested. People say staying invested when the market is down is like eating vegetables you don't like to eat. Right? For me, it's like eating bananas or raw tomatoes. But you want to stay invested through all that, guys. Cheryl, do you like buying stuff at full price or on sale? On sale. I can read those lips. Yes. On sale. That's why when the market is low, You want to keep buying because you're buying more stuff. And then when you return it, pardon me, wouldn't you like to return it at full value? Mm-hmm. That's what this is. See, it's everybody knows and everybody can recite it. Buy low, sell high. But guess what happens? Money is emotional. It is very emotional. Investing is emotional. You know what my biggest job is? Once I get someone investing who understands it and we put a plan together, short term, mid-term, long term, once we get all that put in place for them, you know what the biggest job for me is? Protecting them from themselves, from making those emotional decisions at the wrong time. That's what I'm here for. Okay. Now, ultimately, it's their money. They can do whatever they want. But I'm going to make a note that it was not a recommended move, right? So pay attention. So what I tell them to do when the market is low and they're complaining, I say, look at your last quarter statement. Look at this quarter. Do you have more shares this quarter? Yes, I do. So when the market goes up, because it will, those shares are going to be worth a whole lot more. Sound good? Is that easy to understand? Cool, 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 cool. All right. By the way, what does it take to invest with us? $25 a month or more. That should be in everybody's wheelhouse. See, a lot of investment companies, the big ones that you've heard of, if you don't walk in the door with $500,000, those limits changed. It used to be 250,000. It's 500,000. It's on TV ads. It's on the radio. They're proud of it. 500,000 to walk in the door. Where does that leave middle income families to learn about investing, to get proper advice? Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, that sucks. How many people would like to learn how to pay off their debt faster with less money? Bing. Yeah, all right. We do that and it's free. It's part of the financial needs analysis. How are we doing on time? 7 minutes. Okay, so this is debt stacking. It's simply focusing on one debt at a time. I hear all the time that people say, Anne Marie, I never send the minimum. I never send the minimum. I send everybody a little more. That, I'm glad that you have the money and that you want to pay off your debt, but you are not doing it in the most efficient way. Any extra that you're going to send it to one at a time. Anne Marie, what should I send it to? The lowest balance, the highest interest rate? Well, the cool thing is we have a software package that figures that out, right? Which one do you attack first? And everybody else gets the minimums. We're only going to send extra one at a time. So it's going to be the same amount of money, but you're going to pay it off much sooner and save you thousands of interest. Credit score, man, we're not going to go into all this stuff, but please value your credit, right? Pay attention to it. Check your credit report. Make sure it's accurate. If it's not, refute it. The financial needs analysis, I collaborate with a lot of other people. I have a lot of experience. So even areas that aren't in my area, I'll say, oh, you know what? Go get this checked out. Go get that checked out, right? And I collaborate with a lot of other great businesses. So statements you heard, it's a great marriage between life insurance and protection. Should life insurance have an investment component? Yes or no? No. Investments are investments. You insure to protect. You invest to grow your money. While you have insurance and while you're growing your money, if you die, your family gets all of it, not one or the other. Okay? This is all life insurance stuff. I think I hit that pretty good. I don't want to beat that. Okay, here are some questions. Would you like your business to benefit from potential tax savings? If yes, good. Would you rather benefit from increased employee retention? Would you prefer to reward the efforts of yourself and your employees with a retirement plan over sending money to the IRS? Oh, I hope all these are yes, you guys. If you currently sponsor a plan, are you confident it's the best plan for you and your business? And that all the fiduciary, all the reporting, all that stuff is all being taken care of, or a third party. There's a big company around here called Paychex, and they hide a lot of the fees. It's really hard to find them. Would you like to hear more about all of your retirement plan options? We have workshops. I love doing them. I will do them like this. Can you imagine me in person? Oh my gosh. You think I got energy over this webinar. Wait till you see me in person, boy. But we do a lot of fun ones. We do them as like Family Feud. We do them like Jeopardy. See, I want people to have fun while they're learning because it'll stick in their brain. It's a financial EAP, right? It's complimentary. We can do a workshop for a small group, large, doesn't matter. It still doesn't cost anything. It will address debt. It will address retirement, how money works, financial education, budgeting, and more. So I do have one that's just budget and credit. If you want to focus, if you want to piecemeal it out and just to learn little things and do a series, we can do that. I have a series that we're going to be doing at Innovation Square, July, August, and September, Lunch and Learns. So strategic partnership, everything's complimentary, in-house education. We are going to support your current benefits. Here are some brochures that I think everybody should have and take a look at. A legal protection plan. If you don't know a lawyer, you should have a lawyer on retainer for those questions. So we have a program like that. Smart solutions for small business. What is a simple IRA? What's a SEP IRA? What's a 401k? What's best for you? Okay, you can read about it, but I think you really should have somebody discussing it with you. And anyone who books an appointment with me, I will have this whole book for you, a financial education guide called How Money Works. It will review a lot of the things that you saw today because it's not a one and done thing. You can't just hear it today and go, oh, got it. I'm good. I know it all now. You don't use it, you're going to lose it. Okay? And I don't want anybody to lose it. I want you all to win, win, win. Make sense? Okay. So scan this code if you're so inclined. This is our realhowmoneyworks.com. Okay, I'll leave that up there. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
I don't see it.
Oh, really?
Could we go to custom exchange?
What do you see right now?
The barcode, the code is visible. So
okay, thank you.
If you have something on your screen that
Thank you,
covers
Hans.
it.
So there's a QR code here. And there's my info. Call me, text me, smoke signals, whatever it takes, right? Call me, get your questions asked and answered. Find out if an individual appointment, I can do a financial review in 5 minutes. We have this great technology called B Dollar Smart. And in just 5 minutes, it will discover areas. It'll show you things that you qualify for. When it comes to areas like investing and insurance, see all the things that you qualify for as a business and an individual. And that only takes 5 minutes. We can work over Zoom again, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 9, except Fridays. I end at 4. And I absolutely love what I do, and I want to see you all win. Thank you for this time today, Hans. I appreciate it.
Well, we can actually tell you love what you do. This was really, I hope everybody felt the energy coming across. This was the most entertaining session we've had, and not just entertaining, but good stuff.
Good.
So thank you so much, Anne-Marie. It was great to have you.
Thank you. Now I'm headed off downtown to the MWBE conference. If you're not certified, you should be. And get connected with that, please.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for participating. Again, it's, what was it? sptcbrockport.edu. It's on the upper end of the chat. If you want to hook up with us to get some advice with your business. And other than that, the financial end, as one of your bail team, there's Anne-Marie. Thanks for all participating. And
thank you, Cheryl and Hebrew Hammer. I'm just going to send you one. If you call me and send me your info, you guys, thank you for letting me pick on you and and voluntold you. I voluntold you today, so I will automatically send you the How Money Works book. Thank you for participating.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Melissa, back to you.
Okay, well, that's the end of the program. I'd like to thank Anne Marie for speaking with us today. The recording will be posted on YouTube. It takes normally a couple days, at latest a week, but we will email everyone once it's posted. And also a copy of the slides, if that could get sent to me. I will also send that as well.
I'll get that right out to you all.
Okay.
Thank
And
you,
thank you all.
everybody.
Have a great day.